So this is a video that's probably really long overdue, and that is a video on Death Trap, in depth, actually recorded on OBS, or more specifically, some of the sound of Death Trap, and how to build kind of the iconic screaming sound that you hear in a lot of Death Trap. Kind of like this sound right here. That sound, specifically. Now, the sound isn't actually too incredibly complicated. What it makes a lot of use of, though, is something that I don't see a lot in other sound design videos, particularly the coarse pitch. Now, I can't actually rebuild this patch from the ground up. I'm just not that smart. So what I'll really be doing here is really just going over the sound and going over like how it's basically built. Now, the basic Death Trap screech usually, in my experience, will use saw waves. Just really basic, simple wavetables, just basic shapes really. And in this case, what I've done is I've taken two basic shapes, saw waves. One of them has been pitched up by one semitone, and the coarse pitch has been modified. I believe it's about 30, 33. This one has been modified about 30. I put them close enough so that they aren't too dissonant, but far enough away that they are very dissonant. They're not far enough away that they are dissonant at the same time. I cannot speak today. This one is 2 octaves up. This one, as I said before, is 1 semitone up. Now, the important thing about this sound is that you're going to want to play in, I believe I have this playing in C2. Yes. You're going to want this to play in a low octave, because 36 coarse pitch is high. And that's going to give it this atonal type of sound that's really nice. Now, something else that is really often used in Death Trap is the built-in reverb filter. I know a lot of you may be surprised because you might have been thinking, well, it's probably Combs filter that's used, but no, it's actually reverb filter. Mostly because reverb filter, whenever you reach the 29, like the 11 through like I think it's 40 area, gives some really neat scraping metallic sounds. That's the basis of the sound. Of course, I like to automate one of my macros with an unsynced LFO modulating on hertz that is being slowly sped up. That gives it some more movement. Processing in-house is pretty simple. We have a hyperdimension with the rate on 0, the detune on 28, and the mix on 41. That has 7 voices. The dimension is turned down all the way. We have a tube distortion, filter is off, drive is on 66%. This is actually deactivated, so I didn't actually have to talk about that. But we do have a multi-band compressor with the gain on 12.3 decibels and the mix at 100%. In addition to this, we do also have these 2 macros, which are really what give the sound its movement. Macro 1 is mapped to coarse pitch 1, coarse pitch 2, and the frequency of the reverb filter, modulating it up 5 from its 29 hertz area. Why this is so that I can do this. We also have macro 2, which is mapped to the rate of the unsynced LFO1, which is modulating the volume of oscillator B. This is so that I can give my sound movement. Without any LFOs active whenever this sound is played, it sounds pretty dumb. It sounds like this. Modulating the coarse pitch. Modulating LFO2 speed. Modulating the overall pitch bend to give it more movement. Now, unfortunately, a big part of this sound is the post-processing. And this is not going to be simple either. It's going to involve, at least this sound involves a lot of layers of it. I have a sausage fattener on these parameters. That is the color on 9%, the fatness on 21%. I have an OTT with the depth on 49% and the outgain on 0.0 decibels. Everything but that is default. I have a saturation knob, which is really just a saturation plugin. Right about there, right about 22%. I have two fruity parametric EQs, one of them taking out all frequencies around 196, another one cutting off around 4829 hertz. I have another fruity parametric EQ, taking out frequencies around 486,000 hertz, well, 4086 hertz. I can't speak numbers, I'm sorry. And about 1100. I have a fruity wave shaper on 7.5%. I have a Maximus, which is set to keep everything that is low mono. Lastly, on this chain at least, I have a fruity compressor with the gain on 6.8 decibels, threshold at 0, ratio at 10, 1.0 to 1. Distortion type on hard. This links up into this processing chain, in which I have another sausage fattener with the fatness on 84%, the color on 57%, gain is 0. An OTT with the outgain on 7.0 decibels and the depth on 49%. A GSAT Plus, which is another saturation plugin, with the stages on 2, fluctuation on 3, odds on 34, evens on 61. Nothing else has been changed here. This is a free plugin, so feel free to go download it. I would highly recommend it. We have another Maximus, which I really shouldn't be using on here because this has no low end. It's all been cut out. But this is because I like to build a lot of my subs in-house. So whenever I make a bass patch, everything will be in the same patch, and I won't have a separate channel for a sub. I have a G-clip, which is a soft clipper, again on 12.0 decibels, clip on 100, softness on 100. This absolutely clips the sound to no tomorrow. I have a fruity parametric EQ that is cutting everything off right around 100. A fruity compressor. Type of distortion is on medium. R. Gain is on 9.0. Threshold is negative 12.5 decibels. Ratio is 7.5 to 1. And I have a gross beat, which only comes into play later in the track. This has also been monoed by about 45%. And yeah, it gives you this sound. Context of a track, it can sound like this. watching, and have a good day. Peace.